Well, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. The Ibadan explosion, of course, is the topical news now in terms of security around the country. Okay, we'll be visiting, Oyo State, and we'll be hooking up with Mr. Fatai Owosheni, the former Commissioner of Police in Lagos, but now Special Advisor on Security to the Oyo State government. That'll be in due course, but in the meantime, we do have a package on that explosion in Oyo State.
Chaos and panic gripped the entire neighborhood of Bodija and its surroundings in the late hours of Tuesday as an explosion said to have emanated from a private residence plunged the entire community into turmoil. It's the day after the incident and rescue operations have not stopped, with state and federal agencies working to save trapped victims under the rubble. The tales and devastation are evident as residents and families are still in awe of the destruction, watching their homes reduced to rubbles and little or nothing left of their belongings.
The house is housing foreigners, they are Gambians and Senegalese, and they engage in mining activities. So definitely they had explosives in the building.
Among the people that are resident here, they are tenants. So they are the one that is illegal miner and they are storing the explosive illegally.
Shortly after Governor Seyi Makinde's visit to the scene, he held a briefing alongside his emergency medical team, assuring residents that perpetrators of such acts would not go unpunished.
The further update we can provide at this time is that we have information regarding the company that was using that residence to store explosives. Rest assured that all that were involved directly and indirectly in bringing this tragedy upon us will be brought to book.
The Chief Medical Director of the University Teaching Hospital Ibadan, on his part, assured that medical attention for the victims has been intensified to avert additional fatalities.
The health workers came, and of course we also activated our trauma response system, and all our staff have been helping to ensure that these victims of the victims of this explosion have the best of care.
Undoubtedly, the devastating effect of the disaster have left unending memories in the heart of those who were affected. But the expectation is that the government put in place appropriate measures that will prevent such occurrence from happening again in future. Olaidio Yewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
Okay, then. So there you are, the latest. As I said, as soon as we link up with the spokesperson, well, not so much the spokesperson as the special advisor on security to the Oyo State governor, we'll be getting, indeed, a further update on the situation. As we speak now, he is being prepared for live broadcast. So this is what has been going on, and well, there's so many security issues. We know that the president has indeed launched a special, well, he has caused the police to launch a special intervention squad regarding the kidnappings that are going on in Abuja. And then they have this explosion in Ibadan. President Tinubu has directed again that relief to victims be provided. Here we are opening the phone lines as we are preparing to be, spoken with by Fatai Owosheni. Okay. Well, these pictures are of this morning, those last pictures you were hearing. And Mr. George has called in from Ikeja on this particular issue. Good morning to you, Mr. George.
Morning, Uncle.
Yeah, thank you very much for calling.
What happened in Ibadan is so sad, and I want to appeal to Mr. President. We know that he is trying his best, trying to fix the economy. So please, put extra speed in his attention to security. The way security is driving the country, we cannot continue like this. We find it difficult to fix the economy with the rate things are going with insecurity. The kidnappers have become people that cannot be touched. President Buhari used money, a lot of money to carry debt. Where are they? If the military people know where this forest, where these kidnappers are in the forest. And we have to carry debt that can stay in Ibadan and target somewhere in Lagos and get it. Why are we not using it? What is more terrorizing than what we are experiencing in Nigeria today? The president should please pay extra attention to security issues. If I were him, I will also give security chiefs KPI. If insecurity happens in your zone, it is a yardstick to determine whether you remain in your post or not. Same thing goes for the police. Because the way it is going now, it's like it's dominating the whole economy. People cannot even pass the roads safely without being afraid of being kidnapped. And I'm going to people's homes, even in the federal capital territory, go and kidnap them. I'm going to wait until they knock at the gate of Aston Villa.
Indeed.
I mean,
thank you very much for. Thank you very, very much for calling in, Mr. George. Indeed, security distractions all over the place. And now I can, introduce Dr. Tony Ofoyeton properly. Thank you very much for coming on, DG, Director General, International Institute of Professional Security, and indeed, compliments of the new year to you. This is the very first time that we are meeting. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is in these dire kind of circumstances that we find ourselves so early in the new year. Just there's no let up, one after the other. Mr. George there was just commenting on the situation with the kidnappings in Abuja and the consequent, formations that have been, thought about. And now we have this one. So it's like security is becoming an issue of distraction. All focus, all resources of the government are being forced in this direction. That's hardly usual.
It's not unusual if you have to look at it from political perspective, but I don't think that is what should really bother the average Nigerian now. Of course, we've had this avalanche of security challenges from the time of Jonathan, when terrorism was introduced into Nigeria. And now it has become cancerous. I remember that then we were shouting that terrorism is like cancer. If you allow it to grow, it may get to a stage you are talking of chemotherapy. And at that point in time, it becomes... but having said so, I also want to say that it's not also out of place to say initiative like the one that is recently, brought up by the Inspector General of Police. Yeah, that is the Special Intervention Squad. It's a good one. When I read it, I felt, look, this is good because precisely for issues, security issues like this, what you need basically is just an intervention. But the challenge and the prayer would seek the indulgence of the Inspector General of Police to understand is that intervention programs are always very expensive. In actual fact, they are extra budgetary expenses. Okay. So if he wants to make that intervention program a success, I expect that they should send a supplementary bill to the National Assembly. Yes, the National Assembly. Is that serious? Yes.
Okay, maybe I'll come and learn a bit more about what exactly it means, because people just hear about, the launch of a special intervention program. We've seen pictures already of policemen speaking to other people. But Alhaji Kazim in Ikorodu, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yes. Let me just, I would like just to make a quick contribution. And Happy New Year in areas.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you too.
Mr. Yori, when exactly Nigeria will have to think outside the box? Everything that pertaining to money issue, we are destroying our society. They are continuing like this. At least by now, the air is supposed to be rolled. By now, in a developed country, if you keep on doing the same thing, the same way they are doing it, this something like this is going to continue, and nothing will happen. If you look at our environment, even your office in Ketu, where I live in Ikodu, you will see that we mix the western area with industrial area and commercial area now. And nobody talk until there are problems. They will start to cry, bored, resource. And it's nothing done like this in developed countries. You want to change, you have to keep the ground running now. If you keep on talking on TBC, on channel talking, and nothing changed. We have to be honest to ourselves. Mr. Yori, it has to be stopped. The bodyguard are one of the best areas in Ibadan at the now, because they say that it's a resident, it's not the owner of the house. Look at the gate. So where the resident is already escaped on the run, and nothing will happen. So good job, Mr. Yori. We have to let the government understand. We can't continue like this.
Okay.
We want to be a better sector in Nigeria.
All right.
It's just money. As soon as we are making money, we don't even care about life. We don't value life anymore in this society. We that we live in abroad for a long time. I'm a Swedish citizen. I'm in Nigeria. But anytime I'm in this country, hearing the same shit every time. It's so sad, Mr. Yori. We have to call our government, governors to at least to do the right thing. Please, I'm begging Nigeria, begging whoever that in authority, if they have good heart. It's like 95% of this country now don't care about this life. They just want to make money, to build a successful life. And what's going to happen after some years? You will left everything behind you. And it's done. The damage is done now.
Alhaji Kazim, thank you very much for calling in. Appreciate your calling in. I think Alhaji Kazim is bemoaning, as you heard him, money. I think what he's saying in there is that there's a lack of a systemization. People are supposed to know what happens in a given area. We don't have that kind of a thing. Is as long as money. I think that was what I got from what he was saying.
Yeah, I understand.
In areas that are really residential, they should be strictly residential. You find shops, you find businesses. So all of this, as he said, I think he said he's a dual citizen, and he noticed that this doesn't go on where he's coming from. And well,
there's no egalitarian or utopian society anywhere in the world. All society have their own strengths and weaknesses. So at times we may not do that absolute juxtaposition so that we don't begin to think that there's a perfect society in the world. But I also understand that there are basic things that should be universal. And Nigeria should really adopt such basic things. But I was talking about the Special Intervention Squad of the IGP, and I felt it's a good initiative, but it's an initiative that personally I would want to look at it from the perspective of you want it to work, then you empower it. Now, what are the instructions and the mandate that have been given to this Special Intervention Fund? I know that the IGP talked about intelligence, which is actually key and central. But I would want him to charge that squad to understand that they should not be reactionary. If they are reactionary, it will go back to square one. I expect that by now, they should be deliberate about fishing out the kidnappers, going to look for them, not waiting for them to strike.
Yeah, I suppose that is...
Going to look for them now.
Indeed.
And those that are their sponsors, those that are warehousing them or warehousing their equipment, those that are their accomplices in telecommunication and banking industry. It should be a holistic intervention approach. And to achieve that, because if this is not part of the police budget ab initio, and you are bringing this in now, and you want to fund it, then and you have already have headings for all the items you want to attend to in 2024, for goodness sake, and you want it to achieve the desired result, you will need that funding. You will need it.
Well, so indeed, as you say, You know, our other guest that I said was being prepared, Mr. Fatai Oshini, former Commissioner of Police in Lagos and now a special advisor to the Governor of Security in Oyo State. He's about to speak with us now. And I was just looking at the news and some of the things that he had said in a different context before, how he thought that there was a failure of intelligence. You know, you must have seen